first thing first, I want to go ahead and thank LG for sending us the LG G4, a review unit which I'm going to go ahead and cover right now. We're going to do a review of the G4 and try to cover as many features as possible. It's a phone that is set to be released in the United States early June. It's already been released internationally, and we're going to go ahead and delve into it right now. All right, first thing first, you can see the box here. There's the box that it came in. All right, this is the international unlocked model. Of course, I'm not going to get too deep into the box. It comes with the charger, as well as the wall charger, as well as the micro USB cable. All right, you can see here, this is the actual phone. We're going to go ahead and just take a look at the hardware of the device. All right, this is a 5.5-inch 2K resolution display, renders over 500 pixels per inch. That means you're going to be hard-pressed to notice any pixels on this device. It's absolutely phenomenal in terms of its screen quality. It's also got this nice technology where if you're out in direct sunlight, the screen does get brighter. So it's got a good lux rating in that regard, and I've had no complaints in terms of viewing this in direct sunlight. So we're going to go ahead and go around the hardware in a moment. Let me go through the specs. It's got a octa-core Snapdragon 808 processor. It's got 3 GB of RAM. Again, the 5.5-inch 2K resolution LCD display, Gorilla Glass 3. It's got a 8-megapixel front-facing camera, 16-megapixel rear camera with a lot of bells and whistles. And I'll go ahead and post video quality and show you guys picture quality as well in a moment. You can see the rear. Okay, you can actually remove the back plate. Okay, you can see the actual battery, 3,000 milliamps, so you're going to get good battery life. It's got a micro SIM card tray, not nano, but I got a nano SIM in there, as well as the SD card slot, so this thing does take SD cards. Comes in a 32 and 64 gigabyte variant. You got the sensors, the flash, as well as the power button, volume rockers on the rear as well. Just go ahead and seal the back here. All right, now let's go around the phone and just take a look at the hardware again. You got the micro USB charging port on the bottom here. It's an all plastic build, but it does feel good in the hand. It's got a durable feel. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels actually really premium. And I really give credit to LG because I wasn't too crazy about the G3. I'll be honest with you guys. There was something about the G3 that wasn't appealing to me, but I did like the G2, and I'm a big fan of the design of the G4. I like that the front is almost all screen. Very little bezel up top. On the bottom and on the sides. So if let's say you get the black model and you were to put a black wallpaper, it's going to look absolutely phenomenal. It's going to look like there's absolutely no bezel, and the phone is actually slightly curved. So if you guys look closely enough, you could see that there's a slight curve right there. You see that? It's curved. So that actually feels comfortable when you have it up to your ear and you're actually talking to someone on the phone, which apparently people rarely do these days. Again, going back to the rear, you got this nice finish here on the back plate, speaker on the bottom, which if you have your phone flat on its back, of course that is going to get muffled. Up top you got nothing, on the sides nothing as well, because LG with the G line, G2, G3, and now the G4 comes with the rear button, so power button plus volume rocker. So let's say you wanted to take a screenshot, you would actually hold down the volume plus volume down plus power button, take a screenshot. All right, so that's the hardware. Again, it's a beast in terms of specs. It's got the latest and greatest in terms of specs, no doubt about that. 32 and 64 gigabyte variants, micro SD card slot, removable battery. So it's really the real deal. It's almost like the Note 4 in terms of functionality and what you get, except obviously it's got an octa-core processor, updated specs, so a little bit smaller of a screen with a 5.5-inch display, but nonetheless a very gorgeous, very nice feeling device. It's a bright, beautiful display. This display is absolutely stunning, and really you have to look at it up close. I almost thought it was Super AMOLED when I first saw it because it was so bright. It turns out it's actually LCD. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the software. Of course, you have Lollipop with LG's overlay. Alright, if we go to About Phone, software info, you can see right there 5.1, so this is the latest and greatest in Lollipop. Okay, and again you have LG's overlay. We're gonna go back here. Just going through Lollipop, if you guys aren't familiar with it, we've done quite a few reviews with phones with Lollipop, and again stay tuned, we're going to do comparisons with the G4 and the S6, S6 Edge, the HTC M9, the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, and many more devices, so stay tuned for that. Again, going through the software here, you guys can see it's Lollipop. I mean, if you guys aren't familiar with it, you could check out some of our other reviews where we cover in depth what Lollipop has to offer in terms of their new notification system, fact that the quick settings panel is gone. Now you have the toggles, which you've always had, technically speaking, but they've removed the quick settings panel. The notification system is absolutely phenomenal on this device. It always has been. It always has been on Android, and it always will be, in my opinion, the best notification. In terms of just an OS, it has the best notification system on a phone, in my opinion. Again, going through the software, going through the settings here, you guys can see the variety of different settings and customizations. If you go to display, you can see a variety of different home screen settings. You could change the themes. You could download a variety of different themes. You could change the fonts as well. Screen swipe effect, of course, when you swipe left to right. You have lock screen settings as well. You can see the various variety of lock screen settings. And going back to the home screen, you can see you have this thing called Smart Bulletin, which you could disable that if you want. It's actually kind of useful. I'll show you guys that right now. Font size, font style, of course, Daydream, motion sensor calibration. So a ton of different customizations if you go into the settings application or settings menu, and here's Smart Bulletin right here. So Smart Bulletin's cool. You get these smart cards that come up, basically reminds you of calls or missed texts. If you have calendar settings, schedules set up, you'll get notifications of that. You have your music player right there as well, and you can see that, of course. Will obviously play on the lock screen, and you guys can see speaking of the lock screen, you guys can see the shortcuts down below. You can actually adjust those, change them, put whatever it is that you'd like, and if you just swipe on them, you can actually unlock that specific application. Lock screen widgets, notification bar. So let's go ahead and unlock. Really convenient. Phone. There's your quick remote, of course, with the IR blaster. You can see there's just a variety of different features and settings, and if you click on settings here, you can add and remove different features. You could turn it off altogether. So let's say I want to turn it off. It's gone, so it's no longer in the home button. Now you have that little inertia, that swipe effect right there. Pinch in, you can add home screens, remove home screens. Of course, you also have the ability to change and add wallpapers and widgets. A variety of different widgets and wallpapers here, live wallpapers as well, which are almost a dying breed on Android, in my opinion. I don't know why that is, but you can see the variety of different wallpapers, very high quality, solid quality wallpapers. Just for example, you can see how colorful and bright that display is. Again, very little pixelation, actually no pixelation, not even very little. The icons are high quality, and you could change the icons as well if you long press on them. You can change the icons and add new icons and customize it to your liking. Of course, the ability to create folders and all everything that you're used to with Android. If you're used to Android, if you're not, then it's a system that's pretty easy to get accustomed to. I don't think it's as complex as people like to make it seem. It's actually a really good system and a really easy system to learn. The app drawer is pretty simplistic. Apps, widgets. Of course, you can edit this, view apps by, show large icons. So you can see how that works right there. We're going to click no. You could search, edit, uninstall apps. You can hide apps too, which is cool. If you're trying to hide something, not that I'm saying you should, but you can see the variety of different LG apps, tasks, Smart World, a few other apps. Of course, if you get it for a certain carrier branded device, then you're going to get carrier bloatware, as I like to call it. But in terms of just overall functionality or overall LG apps, they don't put too many in there, but they put just about enough. Twitter, of course, super smooth, super responsive, no lag. You guys can see right there. Multitask to close out of it. Boom, boom, boom. Google now. Okay, Google. Tell me the weather.
It's 79 degrees and sunny in Los Angeles.
How old is Angelina Jolie?
Angelina Jolie is 39 years old.
Who is the President of the United States?
Barack H. Obama. According to the White House, Barack H. Obama is the 44th President of the United States.
Define detail.
Detail, an individual feature, fact, or item.
What time is it?
The time is 5:08 p.m.
Open settings. Of course, you have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and all that good stuff. Super responsive. Syncs well with my Moto 360, so no complaints there. You can see here, fertile. I was doing a little research on is the definition of fertile, I suppose. But you guys can see the web browser here. Okay, you have your variety of different tabs. Of course, you also have auto rotation, so I can easily just auto rotate the display. Quick, easy. All right, and I'm using Google's keyboard right now, but if you guys want to see what the LG keyboard looks like, there it is right there. Makes it a little smaller. It's actually a really nice keyboard. Looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'll let you guys decide what keyboard that looks like, but you can change the keyboard size, the sounds, and whatnot. So it's actually a really solid keyboard. All right, again, the keyboard is super responsive. Keys are responsive. They feel good. I like the noise that they make. Everything's responsive on this phone. In terms of speed, it's definitely a super fast device. Here, I'll go ahead and just go through apps, and you guys can see for yourself. We have Pandora. Multitasking, and of course you have dual window. Dual window here, so you can see, let's say I want maps, let's say I want hangouts. You have dual window, and you can minimize them, make them a little bit smaller. I'll show you guys what I mean. Maximize it, right? Okay. Here's Q slide. Let's do internet. There it is. This is Q slide. This has been a feature that's available on LG devices, and you can make it a little bit smaller, larger, brighter, darker, so I can, of course, perform other tasks while that's open. Alright, games look absolutely fantastic on this device. Let's go ahead and look at Soul Calibur, again, because you're running on a Snapdragon quad-core with 3 gigs of RAM. So no lag, no stutter, no slowdown. I'll show you guys right now. You can see how deep the blacks look on this device. Again, almost super AMOLED-esque. However, it is LCD.
Soul Calibur.
Very good game, guys. Dreamcast port, Sega Dreamcast. Alright, and if you guys like watching video games on phones or laptops, PCs, and desktops, whatever it is, we're going to be doing some gaming videos soon, so check that out, guys. Here at Technability, we're going to be covering some laptop gaming, reviews of different video cards, and whatnot, so stay tuned for that. Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 10. Again, another game that if you guys haven't played on consoles or on PC is a fantastic game, as well as it is as well on mobile. Phenomenal how these graphics look. I mean, you have a Sega Dreamcast, if not better, on a phone. I mean, think about it, right? Pretty awesome. And thank you guys for watching Technability, your source for no-nonsense tech. If you already have it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below, like the video, support Technability. Thank you guys for watching. Okay. Fight. Ermac right there. Grew up with Mortal Kombat. Remember the arcade game back in the day? You'd go to the arcades and play this. And rest in peace to arcades. No longer exist. It's tough to do while I'm recording, but it's almost like Batman Arkham City, if you guys have played that for Android or the iPhone. Swipe and gesture-based game, but a really fun game nonetheless. Look at the graphics. Sergeant versus Shirai Ryu, or Shirai Ryu, however you pronounce it. Oh. Alright, let's exit out of that. So game's absolutely beautiful on this device. And again, if I want to multitask, save some RAM, whatnot, just close out of everything. Clear all. Alright, let's look at some video quality here. YouTube. Details of the hardware on all of them, but they're all really fast. The Note is still a quad-core processor, but these two right
Great
here
sound
are
quality.
octa-cores. They all have 3 gigabytes of RAM. The Note 4 was the last iteration Note, or the last, I'm assuming is the last iteration Note that is going to have a removable battery and an SD card. So I'm assuming with the Galaxy Note 5, they're going to go with the same.
Video quality, really good. As the sound quality, guys. I don't want to open Pandora because I get copyright notices every time I do that. And you guys can see their applications here. You have calculator, their calendar here. You can see the calendar. I have my calendar set up. Google Chrome, of course, which it comes with. So if you don't like the WebKit browser, you can use Google Chrome. See how Facebook looks. All right, no scrolling on Facebook. Okay, close out of that. Contacts. All your contacts. Of course, you have the letters on the right-hand side, favorites, and all that good stuff. See the dialer. All right, let's look at their stock messaging app, which I don't use. I use Google Messenger, but let's look at their stock messaging app here. Okay, you can pinch in and out. Again, you have the stock keyboard. Ton of emojis, which we'll look at here. Variety of different emojis. A little bit of lag when you load it up for the first time, but no big deal. Let's look at the gallery before we get into the camera. Show you guys some picture quality here. You can see the quality here. This was photos I was taking earlier. That's zoomed in 100%, which is actually really good quality for 100% zoom. All right, now let's take a look at the camera. Right, they're touted for this camera. Now, I can't really take quality pictures here, but I'm going to show you. I already showed you guys some picture quality. I'll show you guys some video quality in a moment. But you can see the camera. If you're familiar with LG's camera overlay, then you know what this is all about. Mode, you have dual mode, of course. Okay, you can see how that works here. So I'm recording front-facing, while the rear camera is recording what's obviously is behind it. And you can see panorama mode, auto. Alright, you can see the various different settings here. HDR auto, and again, I'll post the specs, the camera, all the camera's features down in the description below, because there's a ton of them that LG sent me. Simple mode, manual mode, so a ton of different camera features. Of course, you have filters, or you should have filters somewhere. So there's a ton of different features. Going back to the front-facing camera, 8 megapixel. I'm a big fan of this front-facing camera. You have beauty mode, which kind of blurs the picture, almost makes your skin, I guess, look a little bit smoother. But you have modes here as well. Again, I can go back to dual mode. All right, let's reverse back. Okay, so the camera has a ton of different features. The video recording, of course. All right, let me stop video recording. Go back to settings here and show you guys the settings for video recording. Manual. You can see the variety of different manual camera features, so a ton of them there, a ton of different features. If you're a camera enthusiast, then you'll be a big fan of this camera because it has a ton of features for people who are familiar with them. For people who are not, then you're just going to use their auto feature. Of course, it has burst shot, super quick to take pictures, fantastic video recording, great quality video recording. Back here, clicking on video again, autofocus. So let me go ahead and stop this and show you guys some quick video quality, so I'll be right back. 1080p sample video with the LG G4. Beautiful sunny Glendale, California. See, I'm at full 100% zoom. Alright, audio is pretty good. Picture quality is solid. Frame rates are good. Pretty smooth. If we were to just quickly pan over.
Alright, there you guys go. Sample 1080p video with the LG G4.
Alright, so in terms of camera quality, this thing is absolutely phenomenal. It's got beautiful camera quality. I mean, I haven't yet to see any pictures come out blurry or out of focus. I mean, it really is a good camera. And you could just see in the quality of pictures here that I took earlier, just absolutely beautiful. I mean, even when you zoom in, the picture quality, the color saturation, the pictures pop out, the detail is absolutely phenomenal. So this camera is definitely right up there with, say, the Galaxy S6 and the iPhone 6. I say it does beat out the HTC M9 in terms of camera quality. It's slightly a bit better, if not a lot better than the M9. Got a ton of different features. So in terms of camera quality, it's phenomenal. Stay tuned, guys. I'm going to be posting a separate video just on camera quality. So in case you guys are wondering why I'm not covering the camera in depth, I will be in a separate video. Basically going through the rest of the software. If you're familiar with LG's overlays, then you know what it's all about. If you're not, then it's something that you can get used to. I think the LG G line is a very underrated line of devices. The G2 was an awesome phone. I owned one. It was my daily driver for a long time. I was a big fan, and I still am. I can definitely, still to this day, probably use the G2 as my daily driver. So in terms of just being a underrated device, that is what I think the G line is. The G4 is a phone that I think should appeal to any consumer base, young, old, new, experienced, whatever it is that you are. I think this phone could appeal to you. Great camera, beautiful screen, updated hardware, good size. I mean, if you're not too crazy about the large screen, believe it or not, it's not that big of a phone. It's thin, a little bit over 9 millimeters, I believe 9.4 millimeters in thickness. It's lightweight, removable battery, SD card storage, so it stayed true to that to the G3 basically in that regard, with the removable battery and SD card and whatnot. So for those of you who are not happy that the S6 went with a unibody build in terms of no removable battery, no external SD card storage, then this phone might be a better option for you. And again, whether you're an experienced user or someone who's new to the market, upgrading from an iPhone, a Samsung, an HTC, or even your LG G3, this phone is definitely one that you should look at. I am a big fan. I have been using it, and I'm definitely very satisfied. I have no complaints. I like the fact that in direct sunlight, the screen brightens up, so the lux rating, as they call it, improves, and you can see the screen in the most brightest of situations or circumstances. So there's a lot of little things that I like about it. The fact that it's fast, fluid, and bright. The fact that it's just super responsive. Everything about this phone I am a fan of. Of course, you can adjust these bottom buttons as well, so there's a ton of customizations. Third-party apps run absolutely flawlessly. The G4, definitely LG's best phone to date. A phone I recommend you look at and pick up if you're ready to upgrade, or if you're new to the market and just looking for a solid high-end smartphone. All right, there you guys go. My name is Bear Juve.